Mussels have got to be one of the most versatile seafoods. They're plentiful, they're good value for money, they literally cook in minutes, and they're full of protein and low in fat, and full of iron too. So I'm going to show you a very simple recipe. I'm going to make a very simple carrot soup with some coconut, a little bit of ginger and garlic, but we're going to cook the mussels first. I worked with a chef called Leah Leinster, and she was based in Luxembourg. And she used to use Irish beef, Irish lamb. She couldn't get over the flavour, the cream, butter and milk, and she used Irish mussels. And the one thing she always said is the sweet, beautiful meat that comes out of the mussels. She absolutely loved it because the cleanness and how beautiful our water is. So we're very lucky. They really do cook very fast. So I'm going to show you her technique of cooking the mussels first. It's kind of two recipes in one. If you want to get the mussels like I have here, these are fresh. These were delivered to me fresh this morning. You can get them pre-cooked, you know, off your local fishmonger, in your the supermarket also. So there's lots of ways to get them, and they're readily available. So they are all year round. Let me show you what you're looking for with fresh mussels. So this one's opened up here, and the reason why it's opened up here is because it's warm in this kitchen. So you've got to make sure that they're closed. So I'll just tap this just on the board, and then it closes. You remove the beard. So what I've done is I've washed these, and they came in beautifully washed. I need to be honest with you, I just give them another quick rinse. But if there's any little bit of beard just at the side, I kind of have them well cleaned. You just literally remove that, so you do. Okay, so they're very easy. Lots of cold water, wash them, and then literally we're just going to cook them. So empty pan, going to be a little bit noisy here. We're going to put in all these mussels. So this chef Leah Leinster, she was the only woman to win the best cook in the world. This is the way she cooked them. She used leek, onion. I'm going to use onion, white wine, and wait and you taste. Well, you can't actually taste, but wait and you see the beautiful stock that you will get from the mussels. So excuse the noise. Nice hot pan. Bit noisy there. White wine. Water. I have to shout. I normally don't shout in the kitchen. Actually, I never shout. And then a little bit more white wine. So if you want a very classic, quick way of cooking mussels, get them lovely and fresh like this, some white wine, and like a question, what kind of wine do you use? If it's not good enough to drink, it's not good enough to cook, but not an expensive wine. One onion, which is just peeled and sliced, nice and thin. That's all I've done there. And we're just going to literally sprinkle this all over our mussels. You can put herbs, you can put chili, you can put garlic. One thing about mussels, they can take on so many different flavors, which is fantastic. So I'm going to put the lid on this. It's going to come to the boil. It'll only take a few minutes. And how do you know when they're cooked? When they open up, they're cooked. So they really do cook exceptionally fast. Okay, so that's one kind of recipe. And you could put in some sliced or chopped garlic, serve that with some nice kind of crusty bread, and it's delicious. With these mussels here, they're sweet. They'll get the flavour of the wine, a little bit of the flavour from the onion. Just delicious, simple, and that's sometimes food like this, it's all about simplicity. It's all about really good, fresh ingredients, and that's what we have here with our beautiful Irish mussels. Okay, let me show you what I have here in the pot. 3 carrots, 1 onion, sliced. I've been cooking that for about 15 minutes. This is the base for the soup. You can use sweet potato, you can use pumpkin, you can use butternut squash, you can use whatever you like. A little bit of rapeseed oil, and I've also used some butter. Now, what we want to do is to get in a little bit of garlic and some ginger. So this is some root ginger, which I've just peeled. And if you're using ginger, which works really well with mussels, what you could do is just peel it like this, cover it in cling film, and put the ginger into the freezer. It'll keep it fresher, so it will. And then take it out of the freezer, remove the cling film, and then grate it. So I've just removed the skin. I'm going to grate in, just using the microplane here, some of the ginger, and just watch your fingers when you're doing this. So we have 3 carrots, 1 onion, roughly about a teaspoonful of ginger, thereabouts. I like ginger. It works really well. You can put in chili into this, I'm not, but I am going to put in some curry powder, and I think that's going to work really well in the soup. So just watch the fingers when you're doing this. Now you could grate the ginger on top of the mussels. Just every so often, just give it a little shake. It's going to come to the boil and it'll literally be done in a couple of minutes. Okay, now a little bit of garlic, a couple of cloves of garlic. We can chop, we can crush, but I'm just going to literally just slice them. So 2 cloves of garlics here. Just cut them, and then that goes in. So this is all into the soup. So we're getting lots of beautiful flavour. I call this kind of layering different flavours, because you have the lovely sweetness from the mussel stock and then the mussel meat, and then you're going to have the lovely carrot, the creamy coconut carrot soup, which will work really well. So this is what we have here. So we have the ginger, the garlic, carrots. There's no flour in this, so it's not a heavy soup. This is a really nice curry powder, and it's from Oco, and they're an Irish company. They're based in Athlone. It's not too hot, I promise you that. It's a really, really nice. I'm going to put in 2 teaspoonfuls into the pan. You can put in chili powder. You can put in harissa powder. You can put in Cajun spice. So I mean, like, the mussels will take on lots of lovely flavours. So they will, and that's the beautiful thing about them. So we just cook this out for a minute. Let's have a little look at our mussels. So they're beginning to open up, you can see that. And then the flavour from that stock should be absolutely delicious. You can make extra of this and you can freeze the stock. And trust me, if you're thinking of making a seafood chowder, this is one of the fastest and the most delicious fish stocks you'll ever make. I'm going to put in some tomato puree. So I'm going to put in a spoonful of tomato puree, or you can use a can of tomatoes. This is going to help thicken it, and it's actually going to help enrich it. We will finish it with some lime at the very end, so I want to leave that over there. And then we just stir this through here. So there we go. So you have, I'll just show you this. So we have our carrots, ginger, garlic, tomato puree, beautiful base. All right, coconut milk. I love coconut milk. And mussels seems to really take well with lots of different flavours. Smoked bacon, chorizo, all those lovely flavours. But coconut milk works really well. So this is an Irish company called Thai Gold. They're based in Wexford. And I really like their coconut milk. It's the best. It's organic. So I'm going to put the full can of the coconut milk in to the actual soup. So scrape this all out. So it's a lovely kind of a light creamy soup. If you don't like coconut milk, you can use half regular milk and half cream if you want to. If you want to, but I think the coconut milk is really good in this. So I'm going to stir this through here, and you can see the way it just kind of like makes it nice and light and creamy. But we're going to give it the flavour now. Watch here. Is that lovely mussel stock. So I'm just going to turn around the pan. Some of these are opened already. And just give them a little shake. I'll just get a spoon here. So you know the mussels are cooked when they open up. See the way they've opened up? There's a perfect example. Now they're good to go. If any of them don't open up, you don't eat them. Just say goodbye to them. So I've got to visit a couple of mussel farms through my seafood trails in Ireland. And the cleanness of the water, that's one thing that I've got from the fishermen. That is so crucial, and we're very lucky that's what we have in abundance. We're an island, so we should be eating a lot more mussels, a lot more seafood in my eyes. And mussels, as I say, they're good value, they cook really quick, and you can add them to so many different dishes. So that is my mussels cooked. Stock is ready. I'm going to just get a ladle and I'm going to just take out some of the stock. Look at that. So they've all opened up here, which is perfect. So see that there? In some countries they would serve just that mussels, just very simple like that, with a big bowl of chips, and it works really, really well. So if you look, come over here and I'll just show you just that lovely stock. You can freeze that. So that is so sweet, delicious. There's no need to add any salt into it. You're getting the pure essence from the sea. So this is delicious. We would make our fish stock and mussel stock exactly like this in the restaurant. The only difference, we might put in maybe some fennel, some leek, something like that, but this is so good. It really is. So I'm just passing it through a sieve because I have enough onion in the actual soup. We're going to put our lime in. Okay. So the lime is in there. I'm going to juice that. And that's my stock in there. So here's my lime. We're just going to get this and we're going to juice this. So it's one thing that works really well. You want freshness, you do. Freshness. So just have a little look at the nice colour. And that's in the carrots, but also the tomato puree. The curry powder, because there's turmeric in that. So lots of lovely lime juice. Just move this out of here. And then we're going to hand blend it. And there's one thing actually before I hand blend it, I'll just turn it down. I'm going to use a little pinch of salt. Okay, just turn that down. You can put in some basil if you want to. You can put in some coriander. I have some beautiful coriander here, which works really, really well. Some lovely fresh coriander. I'm not even going to chop it. I'm just going to rip it in because we're going to blend that. But what I want to do is to take out some of the mussels. So look at them. That's them there. And the secret is when you're extracting the mussel meat out, just scrape it like that. Just lift it out like that. And you have that beautiful, beautiful mussel meat. So I'm going to put a couple here, just at the bottom of the wee dish. And then we're going to blend our soup. So there's a lovely, lovely sweetness. So make sure every one of them is open. When they're served warm like this, a soup works really well. You could do even a coconut, kind of like a broth with more kind of stock. And I think it works really, really good. You could put some chili into that. So what I'm trying to say is how versatile these are. So we'll put another couple in here. And then I'm gonna have some as a little garnish on top. Okay, so that's our mussels there. Just around the bowl. Bring over the soup onto the board. Just put a tea towel underneath there. Then we're going to blend it. Just a little stick blender. Going to get it lovely and light and creamy, exactly what I want. You can smell the ginger. I think I'm back in Thailand. You could actually use Thai curry paste. I use just some regular mild curry powder, which worked really well. And this is a beautiful comfort soup. Your mussels, when they're cooked, will keep in the fridge for a few days, and you can buy them already pre-cooked. So if you're a little bit short of time or you can't get the fresh mussels, you can definitely get them already cooked. So we're just going to spoon this just in here, or ladle should I say. You can see the way the hand blender has just simply chopped all the coriander. Now, there we go. And then I'm going to garnish it with a couple of lovely fresh mussels. They look really nice. Look at how pretty. Just arrange them just around like that. It's very simple, very quick. There's no flour in the soup. There's a beautiful one there. They're the hero, those beautiful, lovely mussels from our lovely Irish waters. A little bit of coriander. And there we have our mussel and carrot soup with a touch of coconut, ginger, some garlic, lime. I hope you try this. Remember, with the mussels, they're plentiful, they're low in fat, and they're just such a delicious, for me, superfood. So happy cooking and enjoy this recipe.